Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies. I'm here today to do a little bit of a craft with me. And I wanted to show you what I've made so far for my current journals because I'm almost ready to start. I've sewn in some signatures and I'm almost ready to just add in all the elements that I've made into the journals. So the first thing I have here are these envelopes with the little tabs on them, and these will be glued. So I have these that need to go in. I have these that need to go in, and I think these will just be paper clipped in. So I have one set of these. And then another set with this paper. And I filmed a tutorial on how to make these envelopes if you go back a few videos. So I show you how to make the envelope in one part and then how to make the closure in part two. So these will be paper clipped in as well. And I'm going to be paper clipping them in with these fun paper clips that I've been making. Sorry, I'm gonna have to grab it really quick. And I'm like all tangled up in my microphone. All right, so I have these paper clips. And that's probably what I'm going to be using to paper clip these in, and anything else that's going to be paper clipped in. So just fun little charms, and these are gold. Most of my journals are going to be, they're going to have hardware on them that's more this color. So like the brass. So everything on the outside is going to be brass on those three particular journals. But everything that's inside, in terms of dangles and dangles and tassels or paper clips, I'm going to be using gold. And then I have these pockets that I made. And these are going to be kind of folded over a page and glued down around the edge. So I have those. And I have these stamped images. And some tabs made out of file folder scraps, the hanging file folders. For some reason I only have 4. I should have 5 because I'm making 5 journals. And I have this envelope that's the same as this one right here, but this one is different. So I might just put this one in the bigger journal. Anything extra is going to go in the bigger journal. So 3 of the journals are going to be small and similar. Another one is going to be a little bit more feminine. And the last one is going to have 2 signatures, and it's going to be in a hardback book. Or it's going to have a hardback cover. And then I have these right here. These go with the other one. And then I have some empty ones that I have not finished. They're going to be sewn around. So all I did so far was make a whole bunch of them, but I haven't sewn around them yet. or embellish them. So I'm going to be thinking about how I want to embellish these, because to be honest with you, I started these journals so long ago that I think my style has changed a little bit. I still like these a lot. But I feel like this is more my style now. This type of envelope. Where are my other envelopes? And these types of envelopes, I've gotten more, I guess it's gotten more feminine. So I still am going to use these though. I think they're still going to go well. But for today, I am going to try to get to these, gluing them in, and gluing these in as well. But before that, I wanted to, okay, I think I just moved the camera because my microphone wire. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. And I think I was a little bit out of frame. Sorry about that too. But let me bring this tray over to show you what I'm going to be working on today. So this is one of the signatures. This is going to be in the more girly journal. This, there you go. It has lace tabs on the sides, and I need to make these envelopes. I need to put the tabs on. So I had made a bunch of these tabs that are going to hang onto these envelopes using this string that I beaded. So let me see if I can do that on camera, because it's going to be tying some little strings, which might get a little complicated trying to stay in frame and all that. And I wanted to show you guys this too. One night I just made a whole bunch of these. Not sure if you can see, but it's just made out of file folder, like literal scraps of file folder and scraps of fabric. So I am going to do a tutorial on this and show you how I use it. I'm going to be putting eyelets on them too, and I wish I could do that tonight, but it's going to be too loud because I use a hammer, and this is, I stamped on fabric here. But let me just start working on these envelopes. And I hope that I can tie them on camera, because this is one of those cases where it's like teeny tiny. All right, so I threaded some beads onto here, which was a very tedious process because this is just crochet thread. It's literally just this thread right here. And so I have an example right here of this. So I want that to stay on the front. So let's go ahead and just try. So this back part is going to go in through, I need a tag. Okay, so this is going to go in through the back. Now let me make sure that I'm in frame. Okay. So gonna go in like that, and I think I have it in the wrong way because this needs to go in. Okay. Not sure if I can explain why, but it's because it wasn't positioned correctly in the front. So I am going to look at my example. This one hangs there and it comes down into the window a little bit. Oh wait, I can't really measure like that because the windows are all in different spots. But I think I want it to hang down just right there. So let me try to make a knot right there. I think that looks good. Okay, I'm just going to tie it super tight because I'm going to cut it fairly close to the knot. Okay, I think that looks good. Let me cut it off so we can kind of see how it looks. Make sure it's tight. All right, so there we have it. Okay, so let me just continue on. So how have you guys been? I hope everyone's doing well. And finding time to be creative. I've been working on a lot of stuff lately, and it's been really good to be able to feel motivated creatively. And I'm very I need to move on with these journals. I feel like I'm the type that is very detail oriented in the beginning, and that's where I make most of the elements that will go into the journal. So I'm like pretty thorough with the level of detail and all that. But there comes a point when I just need to stop adding more to the journals because they never get finished. And then I kind of, all of the creative things I want to do, it kind of gets muddled. Or is muddled the right word? It kind of gets muddy. Like, I'm not so, like, focused. Everything just kind of stalls out, and then I don't finish the journals. And I've noticed with every set of journals that I start, that's what happens. I go strong in the beginning, and then I kind of get a little unfocused near the middle. And then at the end, I just kind of start throwing everything together. So the level of detail at the end is not as good as the beginning. So now that I know that about myself, I really try to do a lot in the beginning in terms of planning out the journals. Because by the end, I'm so ready for them to be done that I'm just like, okay, do whatever it takes just to get it done. And there's not as much creativity. I have found though that it's harder for me to make a lot of journals at once. Well, in a way it's harder, but in a way it's easier, because and this is a question that I actually saw in the Facebook group in Junk Journal, the Junk Journal Junkies, the chat group. Someone was talking about how quickly it takes people to make journals or something. And it kind of made me think about how I should approach making journals. And I think I've mentioned in a few videos that I used to write. So I've always done something creative throughout my life. The first thing I did was write. I was a creative writing major in college, and I was really focused on that in college, and I was just writing a lot in the beginning. It was really fun, and again, it's late at night, so sorry if I'm like kind of soft, like my voice, but when I first started writing, I was super energized about it. It was very fun, and I had a lot of ideas. And I just spent years writing and sending things into literary magazines and things like that, because I mainly wrote poetry. But as the years went on, I lost a lot of focus, and writing became very draining, which I think that can happen with any creative hobby, or not a hobby really, but any creative activity, I think, for me anyways. Because anytime I start something, I have a lot of energy, a lot of ideas, and as time goes by, it does get draining for me. And I think with junk journals, I would say that this has been, so I found out about junk journals in 2018, the very beginning of 2018. Yeah. And I really got into it. And I think I have taken breaks, but I think for the most part, my energy towards it, like the creative energy, has probably increased. Like I get more ideas, and it's still really fun to me, which is good. And I think that's partly because junk journaling, or making junk journals, is so varied. It's so eclectic. Like we can incorporate pretty much every single kind of hobby or craft or anything into junk journals. So I'm not really looking at the color. I'm just kind of throwing it on. Let me see what time we're at. 20 minutes. So for the journal that I showed you, the signature with the lace on the sides, the lace tabs, I am going to be making the cover for that one, soft cover with fabric, like a file folder. And I've done that, I think I've done that once before, and I really liked it. So I think once I put all of these elements into these journals, I am going to do, well, I still have to make 2 covers. I made 3 covers already and sewn them in. So I need to do 2 more covers and then put all these elements into the journals and then do one final sweep of embellishments. I think I'm going to make some slide mounts with pressed flowers and then add in all the little details like the paper clips that I've been making. I've been pretty obsessed with bead work and I've been making a ton of these things, like these paper clips, these safety pin ones, and I do think they are super over the top, these safety pin ones. And then I have a batch where they're in the brass color or the copper color. I posted some pictures of these, the charms, on my Facebook. So if you guys want to check me out over there, I'd really appreciate it. My name over there is Lace Covered Skies. It's the same as my YouTube name, but it has no spaces, so it's all one word, Lace Covered Skies. And you can see I post a lot more frequently over there. And I also post on TikTok. If you guys ever curious about how I look, you can go on TikTok because I used to film other types of videos on TikTok, but then I switched to junk journaling on there, so more junk journal posts. That's what I'm going to focus on my TikTok, but my older videos are like the fun ones, the TikTok fun ones, but I have some videos on there too of me making the bead dangles and all that. And I'm lace covered skies over there as well, all one word. Okay. All right, so this is what we have so far. I'm really into beads lately, as I'm sure you can tell by my videos. I just need to cut the strings off because it looks really finished when the strings are cut off. Can't wait to put these in. All right, I think I'm going to go. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Please like and subscribe and check me out over on Instagram. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know what types of videos you guys want to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.